So first off, I just want to say this journey has been crazy. I think everything in that room happened essentially the way I expected it to, and I think better. And here's what I mean. In that room, and I asked those men to come out and to visit with you and to ask you to share your stories. I don't know if any of them will do that, but I'm hoping they will. I'm hoping they'll come out and ask. In that meeting, they essentially acknowledged that, Bill, you've told the truth, and there was no challenge to that. This is not an issue of any immoral behavior. This is not an issue of any immoral behavior. And they said, you still have the utmost integrity. Everything you said was true. One of the high councilmen essentially said, if what Brother Real has said is true, and it looks like what it is, then it's the church that lacks integrity. But yet here we are to protect the integrity of the church. We're here to protect the integrity of the church. And he seemed absolutely torn. Right? There was no question about being dishonest. There was no question about telling fact. What it came down to was, Bill, you can't attack leaders even if the attack is true. And so, again, in the coming days, as I start to process this and make some notes of things that are said, and I would challenge anybody who thinks I'm not telling the truth to ask the 15 men in that room. But what it sounds like is that you simply can't tell the truth. The truth cannot be told.
There are two kinds of people.
There are two kinds of, right. I'm grateful I want to say this too. I'm grateful for my wife. Yeah. And she's just been an immense amount.
Amanda! We love you, Amanda.
My wife, from the moment I said I'm having a faith crisis, she said, I'm with you 100%. And she's just been the greatest support. I felt like if I knew what was going to happen in the room, but if I could walk away with them saying, you didn't lie, you didn't shade the facts a certain way, you didn't do anything immoral, you just told the truth, and unfortunately you can't do that here, I think that's vindication and validation for every single one of you.
I'm sure you guys are freezing, but thank you so much for your love and support. We feel it. And just thank you so much for being here for us. Love you guys.
Thank you. Amanda, did they let you speak? Amanda?
Yes, I took very short few moments because Bill is the public speaker of the family.
What'd you say, Amanda?
What did I say, Bill? I don't remember.
She told your guys' story. She essentially said, like, my husband's been swimming in this for years, and he's had each of you reach out in various messages. And while I've sat with you and talked with you and reached out in those ways, she pointed to the fact that it's the church that's hurting each of you and causing damage to relationships. And essentially that she wished that the church could see the damage it does and the good that's done by us as a community validating that this just doesn't add up.
What was the evidence they relayed against you?
So they shared several posts from Facebook that had to do with Elder Holland having a stamp of liar on him, Elder Ballard having a stamp of liar on him. But I'm telling you guys, it was presented in a way that they acknowledged, like, you're right. It looks like they lied, and we don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the other evidence?
Yes.
So you said that one of the high counselors indicated that he had concerns. So they allow the high counselors to speak?
So he went for about 10 minutes. I went for 60 minutes. When my 60 minutes was over, and my wife took a few minutes out of that 60, and when that was over, they all asked questions, probably 6 or 7 of them.
So the high counselors...
why won't you resign? What do you think about the Book of Mormon? What is your testimony of Jesus? Again, I just don't think at any point there was a place where they're like, he did something wrong. It's really, you just can't say it. Even if it's true, you can't say it. And I think in the coming days as I process this, you're gonna sense that was the case. But I still think I'm excommunicated. I don't think that's going to happen. No. With all of these cases, these high-profile cases, they essentially say, we're not going to make a decision tonight. We'll give you a decision in a few days. And my gut tells me that my stake president knows he has to excommunicate me, but I'm also telling you that there's no ifs, ands, or buts that nobody in that room thinks I lied. Nobody in the room thinks I said anything that was wrong, other than my tone. I said it too harshly.
What?
Yeah.
How did it feel?
I felt good. I mean, I think we felt good the whole time. I think we stood for our truth. And when I say our truth, and I just think that they've essentially acknowledged what we all knew all along, which is in that building, the truth really doesn't matter. So I think it's these communities that do.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Bill. What do you want to say to listeners and viewers who are watching right now?
These journeys are hard, and we're constantly trying to put it back together, put the toothpaste back in the tube, put everything back in the box. And on some level, we all continually kind of pull it apart and look at it again and try to fit it. And what I would say to everybody, wherever you're at, like, it doesn't matter to me, whether you're in or you're out, what I would say is do what's right for you, what brings peace to you and your relationships, and what gives you a healthy community. And just know that if there's a God, he absolutely honors that.
You.
Did you feel that you were treated fair? Did you feel that they were kind?
It's not a one answer, and here's why. I think everybody in that room was fair in terms of agreeing with me, but it doesn't change the outcome. So they're like, do you think we were fair with you? Yeah, you all are saying I'm telling the truth. And yet it still sounds like I'm not going to be a member of the church in a day or two. So was I treated fairly? Sure, but real fairness involves the actual chance to win if you're telling the truth and you haven't done anything wrong. And so the system's broken.
Hey, well, there's two words that aren't going to be allowed in the church anymore: fair and Mormon.
Right. That's next general conference on the first one, though. Yeah. Was it fair? Yeah. I think they all operated from a place of listening. They literally looked me in the eye. They listened the whole time I talked. They asked good questions. You could tell that some of them were like, ooh, if it sounds like what you're saying is true, and that makes my beliefs a mess. But at the end of the day, the outcome is still rigged.
Did you feel that they'd read the material you had emailed to them beforehand?
I think I laid it out so clearly tonight that there are 4 or 5 shelves in there that are fragile.
So, Bill.
Yes.
do you if it's excommunication, do you plan to appeal that?
What I've heard from you and others is that it's nice to be able to pass that along and get the stamp of the First Presidency so that you know that it's not just this local thing that's happening, but it's these guys saying they stand behind what happened at this local level. And so I anticipate we'll do that just so that that First Presidency's signatures are on a letter saying that we also agree that telling the truth doesn't matter.
Bill,
No.
do you think that maybe in a few years you might look back at this, and as traumatic as it is now, to say that's the best thing that ever happened to me?
In the midst of them telling me that I had done nothing wrong and I had told the truth, whatever trauma I was carrying, it's gone. Like I just felt like vindication.
Yes.
It felt like they essentially said, you can't be here, but it's really us, not you.
Wow.
So what is the future of your podcast going to be like?
So I just anticipate everything continuing. We've got, whether it's a Cognitive Dissonance podcast, the Mythical Jesus podcast, Mormon Discussion, other podcasts on there like Radio Free Mormon or Mormon Awakenings, the Marriage on a Tightrope. I expect all of those to continue and to continue to grow, and we'll continue to talk about Mormonism in the various areas that those podcasts go into. I don't think it's going to change my tone. I don't think I'll be more angry. I don't think I'll be more gentle. We'll just keep dissecting Mormonism and letting people make up their own minds based on the data, whether this holds up and whether it's worthwhile for them to invest their time and energy in.
Will there be an excommunication podcast?
I'm sure of one sort or another. yeah, I'm sure we'll in the coming days talk about what happened there. Again, I think it's just a matter of getting home and kind of processing this and getting my thoughts onto paper. But yeah. Thank you, everyone. You guys are incredible. Like, this is your journey.
Amazing.
We love
Yeah.
you, Bill.
Thank you.
We love you, Amanda.
We love you.
Just want to tell you, I don't know you very well, but I love you, my brother. This is great. I love the way you speak. I love the way you express.
It says Free Billy.
Thank you, guys.
We love you, Bill.
Thank
love
you, John.
Amanda.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay.